Hi guys, welcome to my channel. How are y'all doing today? So here today on Abby the Witch, we are going to be doing another tag. I feel like tags are really popular again and they're coming back, which I'm all about. And the one I'm going to be doing today is the Trad Witch Tag, short for Traditional Witch Tag. And it is a series of questions just getting to know you as a witch. I love these tags, similar to kind of like the one I made, hashtag More Than a Witch, which is a series of questions just getting to know you as a human being outside of your witchery. I really like this one because it gets to know me specifically as a witch, and I've been meaning to kind of do a video like this anyway, so I took this opportunity. This tag was originally created by Mnomquah. I hope I'm saying your name right. I will put it up here somewhere on the screen. I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I first saw this tag on Cortney's channel on Eries Witchcraft. So I will tag both of their videos down below in the description. Okay, so let's just dive right into these questions. I'm excited. I have all the questions on my phone and on my notebook and everything, so forgive me, I have to look at these. Question number 1, what kind of craft do you practice? If you're watching this video, you probably already know, I'm sure you do already know, that there is 1,000,001 different types of magic, different types of witches out there, and I pull from a lot of them. So I would say predominantly, at least right now, because my path is always changing, but I would say right now I'm definitely a folk, traditional, pagan witch who is on the left-hand path. So I work a lot with Baphomet. That's he, she, they are my guide. I love them so much. I work with the witch's devil, not the Christian devil. I work with Lilith. I work with Norse deities. I want to get more into that. And I have worked with Greek gods in the past as well. I do a lot of green witchcraft. I would say about 90% of the magic I do involves plants and herbs. I do a lot of blood magic. I do a lot of hedge witchery. I do hearth witchery as well. I believe that my whole home is my sacred space. And I do a lot of moon magic. I love to work under the dark moon and the full moon. I just love the moon. I also do a lot of cleansing and protection magic as well. So that is my magic in a nutshell, really. Question number 2, what paradigm, faith, or philosophy informs your craft? Okay, so I really had to think about this. And I would say human rights in general, but the feminist paradigm really informs my path. Rebelling against the patriarchy, utilizing anger towards misogyny and my assault in the past has really empowered my magic. Recognizing the lies that have been taught to me through the patriarchy and the society we live in, and also just getting to know my power. I feel like feminism and my witchcraft really go together. And again, generally speaking, just human rights. I really feel like witchcraft really can empower those who have been oppressed, including women, including members of the LGBT community, people of color. And I do want to say too, that as a white person, I really recognize that it's important for me to step aside when it comes to feminism and follow people like Black women and other women of the LGBT community and women with disabilities. And so I really recognize that I need to be listening and following people who historically have not been given a voice. So I just want to make that very, very clear. But I would definitely say my witchcraft is looked through a feminist lens for sure. Another paradigm, faith, or philosophy, though, is just polytheism in general. I'm definitely polytheistic. I work with a ton of different deities. Well, I say a ton. It's not a ton, but it's definitely more than one. I definitely feel and know in my heart that I do not have to commit to one God. I am stripped and liberated from Christianity. That's the only time that I ever felt like I had to commit to one God and blindly follow and put faith into that God without question. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm liberated from that. That is the only time that I ever felt like I had to do that. And other witches feel like, you know, if they work with one deity, like Wiccan witches commit to the god and the goddess. I'm sure there are Wiccan witches out there who work with more than just the god and the goddess too. But a lot of Wiccans don't. A lot of Wiccans just commit to the god and the goddess, and that's it. And they feel like they have to be committed to just those two. That's fine. That's just an example of kind of like the contrary of what I'm talking about. But I feel very differently. I feel that that's like one of the main reasons I left Christianity so many years ago and stopped believing in God years ago, is because it's like, why do I have to listen to this one God and not look at other religions or spiritual beliefs or other deities and other gods and goddesses, and what's so wrong with demons, and you know, and why do I have to be ashamed of my sexuality? And okay, question number 3. What culture is your practice rooted in? So I would definitely say New World American is really the culture where my practice is rooted in. Of course, that means like British too. I would also say Scottish and Irish as well, and Scandinavian too, because I work with like Norse gods and things like that. So, but I would definitely say my practice is predominantly rooted in that folky New World American culture. Number 4, how long have you been practicing and how did it all start? Okay, this one was really hard for me to answer. I've only really known that I've been a witch for a few years now, like 3 or 4 years now. 3 years? I don't know. It's been a few years. But I hate saying that because when I found out I was a witch, I had realized that I had been doing witchery and been a witch my whole life, pretty much. So once I learned about witchcraft and witchery, and what it was all about, that's really when it all started for me, and how it all started for me really. Was when I actively started doing witchcraft, knowing what I was doing was witchcraft. I was definitely tapping into my inner witch as a child. Trees talked to me, the wind talked to me. I had this connection with animals. There was something sacred about the moon. I felt psychic. I had deja vus. So all of these things came together when I was an adult, and I realized, oh, that's what I was doing. And that's what I am. I'm a witch. It makes sense now. It's hard to answer and just say, oh, it happened this time, because it's kind of wishy-washy for me when I started. I think part of why I didn't just explore it and get to know it right away as a child is because of fear. I mean, I was raised Christian, pretty fucking Christian. So, you know, I was scared of it. I didn't really know the benefits of it. I didn't know what it was all about. The answer is a few years ago, and also my whole life. Number 5, what books or resources have you first started with? Would you recommend them to others today? I started out with Wiccan books, specifically Wicca by Cunningham, forget his first name, and the Wicca Book of Spells, which I'm not sure who that's by right off the top of my head, but I'll put pictures of them on the screen. And yeah, I would still recommend them today. I would recommend them today with a warning, saying like, you don't have to be Wiccan to pull from these books, to utilize these books. You do not have to be Wiccan, and you do not have to be Wiccan to be a witch. I was definitely one of those people that before I knew better, I kind of thought that Wiccan meant witch, which I know now is obviously not true. Wicca does have great fundamentals. I will say that. Now, when I say that Wicca has great fundamentals, I'm not implying that Wicca was the first religion or pagan spiritual belief system to make all the ideas or practices that they do. Wicca has simply borrowed the ideas from other traditional forms of witchcraft and other pagan practices cross-culturally. And Wicca has done a really good job of collecting all of these things and putting it into one religion. So for that reason, it is a really good source to pull from. I feel like a lot of witches start out as Wiccan, because I feel like it is really popular, and it's easy to think that that's what you have to be when you start out. So that's why I would tell a new witch, a baby witch, that, you know, I would start with these Wiccan resources, but please, please, please don't think you have to be Wiccan. You don't have to commit to the god and goddess. You don't have to call yourself a Wiccan. Just use some of these ideas and play with it, and then your path will evolve and grow and change. Okay, number 6. How has your practice and or paradigm changed over the years, if at all? Oh, it's changed a lot, a lot. Like I said, I started out thinking that I might be a Wiccan witch, and I realized that it's just not for me, because Wicca is, according to most Wiccans, Wicca is a religion. It is a fertility, nature-based religion. You commit yourself to the god and goddess, and it wasn't for me. Religion just isn't for me at all. I never fully committed, but like I said, that's where I started. I am now on the left-hand path, very different, and I'm polytheistic. Like I said, I do not commit to just one god. Everyone's relationship with deity is different, okay? So if, for example, well, I used Wicca as an example earlier, but another example is if you're a satanic witch and you feel like you have to commit to Satan and you have to like sign a contract or sell your soul or whatever. I mean, that's fine. You can do you. I feel very differently. For me personally, I don't think I have to do that. I just don't. I think that deities know what you need. And if you need not to commit like that and blindly follow them, then that's what they're going to tell you to do. They're going to tell you to not do that. As far as what I did as a child, I feel like my path aligns with that way more than when I started out, quote unquote, as a Wiccan. Like I said, as a child, the wind and the trees would talk to me. I had a connection with animals. The moon was sacred. Feeling the earth and being grounded with the earth, liking the smell of dirt and grass. Just being outside as a kid, and just this feeling I had and connection I had to nature and animals and the moon. It was there all along. It was right under my nose. Number 7, what does your daily regular practice look like? And what do you do on a regular basis? So I don't practice every day. I am growing into an extremely liberated, free person. I've been saying liberated a lot in this video. So I don't feel like I have to commit to a daily practice. There are some witches who preach about the daily practice thing. If this is you and you feel like you need to do a daily practice, or you want to do a daily practice, and that's beautiful, that's wonderful. That's actually part of my daily practice, is not practicing every day. Because that's part of what makes me feel free, is not having to commit to something like that. She did say, Mnomquah, I hope I'm saying right. She did say / regular basis. So I appreciate that. I appreciate she didn't like push the daily practice thing. But my regular practice is a lot of divination. I've been doing a lot of tarot and oracle again. I've been kind of going back to that. And I also do a lot of cleansing and protection magic too. That is like my regular routine, if you will. Every once in a while I'll do spell work, of course, if it's needed. Sometimes I'll do ceremonial magic, but I'm not big on the whole ceremonial thing. It's just a little too extravagant for me and organized. I don't like big organized magic. It's just not my thing. All right, number 8. Are there aspects of your craft that you need to keep secret? In your opinion, is secrecy important in witchcraft? For me personally, yes. There are things that I like to keep to myself so I don't cause drama in my family, so I don't cause drama in general. I just would rather not. I do have some family members that sneak a peek at my videos sometimes, and some of them are already kind of weirded out by me being a witch, so I just would rather not. It's just not that important to me. Like, I don't feel like I have to come out with everything I do. It doesn't matter to me. Now, do I feel like it's important, secrecy is important to witchcraft in general? Again, I think it's just a personal thing. I think it just depends on the witch. I think that a lot of us keep it personal because of things like judgment from our family or just people in general. Do I think that secrecy makes your spell work more powerful? No, I do not. I think that magic is powerful because it's coming from you. I think intention makes magic powerful. I don't think secrecy has anything to do with that. Number 9, what are some of your favorite tools that you use regularly? That is so hard for me to say. I struggle so much with LR words. Regularly. There we go. Okay. So I have a pretty long list, so I'll just rattle them off. Intention and intuition are the top 2 most important to me, especially your intention. My hands, bodily fluids, like my menstrual blood and vaginal fluid too. I use that a lot. Hair, my hair. I've used my cat hair before, other people's hair if I'm working with, like, doing spell work for them. Herbs and plants, very important to me. My bells, my voice. I sing a lot in my practice. Candles, mirrors, tarot and oracle, my figurines, like my Baphomet figurines, and my art that I do. I do a lot of artwork in my practice as well. Number 10, what books or resources would you recommend to newbie witches interested in your kind of craft? Right now, in my kind of craft that I'm doing presently in my life, I would recommend Of Blood and Bones. This definitely encapsulates my witchcraft, my practice that I do now. I would definitely say, yeah. Like I say, I do a lot of dark moon work. I do a lot of shadow work. I'm on the left-hand path. Of Blood and Bones it also has like a folk traditional witchcraft vibe in there too. She talks a lot about crossroads and liminal spaces. I love this book. So if anyone was like, I want to do exactly what you do, first of all, I would say why, but I would recommend that book to them. Also, a YouTuber that I found recently, his name is Eries Witchcraft. He has an archaeology degree, and he does a lot of historical videos on Norse deities and mythology and witchcraft and hedge witchcraft and just all kinds of things. He does like the more historical, scholarly approach. So yeah, if you want that side of things, he's a really good resource too. I really like that. I would also say Taryn S. at House of Witchcraft. She definitely is like a folk, good old American traditional witch, a crossroads witch. So I would definitely recommend her as well. I love her channel, and I definitely see her as a wonderful resource as well. Okay guys, so that is it for the Trad Witch tag I hope you enjoyed. Go check out Cortney and Mnomquah's video as well. That's all I have for today, guys. So until next time, I hope you stay very well. And don't forget to follow the snake. Love you. Thank you. Bye. What books or resources...